Once upon a time, in a quiet green village surrounded by rolling hills, there lived a young boy named Arman. Arman had a gentle heart and a bright smile, but what he loved most in the whole world was his horse, Noor. Noor was not just any horse. He had a shiny brown coat that sparkled in the sunlight, and his eyes were soft and kind, almost as if he could understand every word Arman said. Every morning, as the golden sun rose over the hills, Arman would run to the stable and call out, "Good morning, Noor!" And Noor would softly neigh, as if replying, "Good morning, my friend." They would spend their days together, running across the fields, playing near the river, and exploring the forest paths. Wherever Arman went, Noor followed faithfully, and wherever Noor went, Arman trusted him completely. The villagers often smiled when they saw them together. "Look at those two," they would say. "They are not just boy and horse. They are best friends." One day, the sky was especially bright, and a cool breeze danced through the trees. Arman felt adventurous. "Let's go a little further today, Noor," he said, gently patting Noor's neck. "Let's explore the hills beyond the forest." Noor hesitated for a moment. He stamped his hoof lightly and looked toward the hills, as if unsure. But Arman didn't notice. "Come on, my brave friend," Arman laughed. So, together, they set off. They rode past the familiar trees, past the river, and into a part of the forest they had never seen before. The path grew narrow, and the trees stood taller and closer together. The wind grew quieter. The birds stopped singing. But Arman, excited by the adventure, didn't notice the silence. As they climbed higher into the hills, dark clouds slowly began to gather in the sky. Noor's ears twitched. He slowed his steps. "Why are you stopping, Noor?" Arman asked. Noor let out a low, uneasy sound. Suddenly, a loud thunderclap broke the silence. Boom! Arman jumped in surprise. "Oh!" he said, looking up. "A storm!" Within moments, the wind began to howl. Leaves swirled around them, and the sky turned dark and gray. Rain started to fall, first softly, then harder and harder. "Let's go back," Arman said, now worried. But they had come too far. The path they had taken was no longer clear. Everything looked the same: wet trees, slippery ground, and thick fog creeping in. Arman's heart began to beat fast. "We're lost," he whispered. The rain grew heavier, and the ground beneath Noor's hooves became muddy and dangerous. Suddenly, Noor stopped. Right in front of them, hidden by the rain and fog, was a deep ditch in the ground, a dangerous drop that Arman hadn't seen. If Noor had taken just one more step, they both would have fallen. Arman gasped. "Oh, Noor, you saved us." Noor snorted softly, as if saying, "Be careful." The storm continued to roar around them. Arman was scared now, and he held tightly onto Noor. "I don't know the way back," he said, his voice trembling. "What should we do?" Noor stood still for a moment, then slowly turned around. He took a careful step, then another. Arman realized something. "Noor, do you know the way?" Noor flicked his ears and began walking, slowly but confidently, through the storm. The wind howled and the rain poured down, but Noor did not stop. He walked through narrow paths, avoided slippery rocks, and carefully made his way through the forest. Arman trusted him completely. "I believe in you, Noor," he said softly. After what felt like a very long time, the trees began to thin. The rain started to slow. And then, in the distance, Arman saw something familiar. "The river!" he shouted with joy. They were close to home. Soon the storm passed, and the sky began to clear. Golden sunlight broke through the clouds, lighting up the village. As they entered the village, people ran toward them. "Arman, you're safe!" his mother cried, hugging him tightly. "We were so worried," said the villagers. Arman smiled and pointed to Noor. "It wasn't me," he said. "Noor brought me back. Noor saved us." The villagers looked at the horse with amazement. "What a brave and loyal friend," they said. That evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, Arman sat beside Noor in the stable. He gently stroked Noor's mane. "Thank you, my dear friend," he whispered. "Today, you didn't just carry me. You protected me." Noor softly rested his head on Arman's shoulder, and in that quiet moment, they both knew something very special. Their friendship was stronger than any storm. Moral of the story: true friends care for each other, protect each other, and stay together, even in the hardest times.